Hello world and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome! I'm nikkirenae and today I will be tier ranking my entire physical TBR. Oh my gosh, I have a few disclaimers and just one thing to say. In natural me fashion, I can't start the video without talking about other things first. First of all, I have attempted to film this video 3 times, so we will see how well it goes this time, but I'm very excited to be doing it again. So my next disclaimer is that I've actually just lied, and this isn't my entire physical TBR. If you don't know, I have a lot of books. I actually just updated my book database a couple days ago, and I have approximately 698 books. So I'm approximately 2 away from 700 and approximately 302 away from a real library. So if you thought I was going to sit down and tier rank the entire TBR of that amount of books, so there are 3 categories of books that are not included. The first is a lot of books that have to deal with class, whether or not we were going to read it for class and we didn't, whether or not I'm reading it for class this semester or not. I'm not including them because my big criteria within this video and tier ranking these books is that it's my TBR, so they're the books that I'm actually interested in that I picked out for myself. The second category of books that aren't included is mostly any anthologies or collections. There's a couple, I think, in here still, but mostly none of them are here because I'm just trying to do like the actual just one book. And then the last third category of books not included, it deals with series. I did include series, but I've included the first book that is next for me to read. So if I haven't read any of the series, then the first book is what's being shown, and if I've read part of the series, then like if it's a 4-book series and the last book I read was the second one, then the third book is what's going to be shown. So without further ado, let's get into it. I will start my screen recording and hopefully so I'm going to give myself as much space as possible on my desktop to do the books. Before we get into actually doing the tier rankings, I thought I would go over all of the tiers that I have. I love tier ranking videos. I think seeing everybody's specific tiers that they do is so fun. So from top to bottom, I have top shelf priority, it's a want but not a need, casual curiosity, I swear I'll get to it, maybe someday, and the graveyard. So what these all mean is basically top shelf priority is the highest priority possible. It is absolutely top tier in my head for books that I want to get to next, but I do want to preface that just because these books are in a specific tier and a certain priority for me, that doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to be reading next. If there's anything on here that you would like to see for me to read next, I would love to do that. The next one is it's a want but not a need, which is the next highest priority. I don't need to read it right now. I don't need it in my life right now, but I really would love to get to it. Next is casual curiosity. So I'm interested, but I'm not desperate for it right now. Next is I swear I'll get to it, which is I swear I'll read it someday. Next, the penultimate is maybe someday, which is I might read it someday. And then the last one is the graveyard, which is I'm just totally fine with not reading this like anytime soon. Now, let's actually get into it. The first one is The Giver, which I think I'm going to put into I swear I'll get to it because it's such a good like concept and idea, and I've seen the movie, but I don't know. Next is The Little Prince, which is also probably going to go into I Swear I'll Get to It. Something else I do want to mention is I'm very, very good at changing my mind about ratings and my thoughts on things after the fact once I've ruminated in it for a little while. So I'm going to give myself the rule for these that I cannot move them once I've put them into a tier. Once they're there, that's where they're staying, and that's it. That's the rule. It's not, I can't change my mind. And the reason why is partly because I change my mind so much, but also because I think it would be really fun to continue to do this every year and see if maybe my thoughts on some things have changed and see what I've read and so on. Next is The Prairie of the Orange Tree, which is going into maybe someday because it scares me. It's so thick, like it scares me. Next is Sleep Tight. This is a book of the month book, which is going to go into I Swear I'll Get to It, and there's a decent chance that a lot of the book of the month books are going into I Swear I'll Get to It. I do want to start a series on here called Book of the Moment for book of the month books, because they're not the book of that month. They're the book of that moment, because I've had them for so long, I just need to get to them in that moment. Next is Say You Swear, which is actually going to be the first one into one of the top 3 tiers, and it's going to go into It's a Want, but not a need, because I've seen this all over TikTok. I talked about it in my haul video if you haven't seen it, and I'm just very interested. Asylum, maybe someday. I don't really have a lot to say about this. I've had it for a very long time. I remember what it's about, and it's interesting, but I'm just not interested right now. Next is Kingmakers, which is probably also going into maybe someday. I would maybe put it into Casual Curiosity, but I'm not the most curious about it, and I feel like it just doesn't quite go into I Swear I'll Get to It because I don't feel that way. So probably maybe someday. It's there, I'm interested, but just maybe some other day. The Lucky One, this is a Nicholas Sparks book. It's actually also going into maybe someday, and whenever I get the other Nicholas Sparks book that I have, it's going to go into there too. The two of them have movie adaptations, and I love them, so there may be someday, because I've seen the movies and I've seen them so many times, and I just don't feel the need to read the books yet. I'll Give You the Sun. I think I'm going to put it into It's a Want, but not a need. I've started this book before, and I loved it when I started it. I just was not in a space for reading at the time. Where the Crawdads Sing. Casual Curiosity, this is probably also going to be in another series that I'm going to hopefully start, which is Read and Repeat, where I read the book and watch the on-screen adaptation. And I've seen the movie, so I'm excited. Every Day, I Swear I'll Get to It. I've also seen the movie for this, and it was alright. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. Falling Kingdoms. This is going to go into Casual Curiosity. I don't really know what it's about, but it's going into Casual Curiosity instead of I Swear I'll Get to It, which is what I would probably put it in, because I have like the first 4 books of the series for no reason. Me Before You. Okay. I've seen the movie, I love the movie, and I think normally I would put it into I Swear I'll Get to It out of the scare factor, but I am really, really, really interested to see how the book lines up or pairs up with the movie. So it's going to go into Casual Curiosity. This, I believe this is Champion. This is the final book of the series by Mary Lou. What is it? Legend. And I think I'm going to put it into It's a Want but not a need, but I will say that whenever I get to a lot of these series, when it's the second half of the series or something, I will be rereading the entire series for the vlog, and I am hoping, even if nobody asks for it, to do reading vlogs for all of these books. Crazy Rich Asians. I Swear I'll Get to It. It's another movie that I just really love, and I'm just not dying to see how it happens in the book yet. The Martian, again, I don't know why all these books with movies are like right after each other, but it's going into Casual Curiosity this time because I love the movie and I've never read something like this. I'm definitely usually a young adult girly. I like my fantasy and sci-fi and all the things, but I've never really read something like this. Darling Girl. Oof. This is a book of the month book, but it's going into casual curiosity because if I remember correctly, it's actually a Peter Pan retelling, and Peter Pan is one of my favorite Disney animations. North is the Night. It's gonna go into I Swear I'll Get to It. I'm not the most intrigued by this. I genuinely mostly have my edition because it's like a deluxe exclusive edition, and it's really pretty. The Hurricane Wars is going into, I'm trying to remember what it's about, but it's been a while since I've read the backs of some of these books for that haul video, and it was like so many books at once. And I think because I can't remember it, it's gonna go into I Swear I'll Get to It. Ooh, The Cheerleaders. This is going into Maybe Someday. It scares me a little bit. Honestly, in a different way than like Me Before You and The Giver, because it just, I don't know. The 13th Child. I Swear I'll Get to It. I've heard lots of good things. It's another book of the month book, but I've heard lots of good things. Fangirl, this is the manga, I believe, and this is volume 2. I think there's 4 out now, and I love the original Fangirl novel that they're all based off of, but I don't know how I feel about it now, given that there's so much controversy around Rainbow Rowell. So it's actually going to go into Maybe Someday, which kind of hurts, but I just don't need it. 5 Broken Blades. There's actually a sequel for this, and I feel like that's what's going to put it from I Swear I'll Get to It to casual curiosity. A Killing Cold. I'm gonna put it into casual curiosity because it's not something that I usually read. I love reading just about anything, and if you can't tell, I'm very eclectic in my genres, so I'm just interested. Ooh, Game of Thrones. I think, oh gosh, I don't know, oh gosh. I think it's going to go into Maybe Someday because it really scares me. Delicate Escape. I have the first 2 of this series. I think it's the Sparrow Falls, if I remember correctly, and they're interconnected standalone romances. And for that, because I am iffy on my romances, if they're just plain romances, so it's gonna go into it, I'll get to it, I swear. Forging Silver into Stars. Casual curiosity. Death at Morning House. You know what? I'm actually very interested in this, so it's gonna go all the way up to It's a Want, but Not a Need. The Tearsmith. I think I'm going to put it into Maybe Someday. I think I would have been a lot more interested in this had I not seen the Netflix movie, and I did not like the ending of that, which makes me not like this as much at all. Ooh, Tale of the Heart Queen. Oh, you know what? And here's Fate of the Sun King. So this is one of the series. There's a couple of these where I could have done one book to represent everything, but I didn't, and this is one of them because I'm very, very excited to continue and finish the series. So it's actually going to be the first 2 all the way at the top in top shelf priority. I have read the first 2 books, which is Trial of the Sun Queen, and I don't remember what the third one is. The second one, oh my gosh. But I did film a reading vlog for them. Ooh, Kingdom of Ash. Okay, I do have Tower of Dawn on here as well. So whenever that happens, I know where I'm putting it. But Kingdom of Ash is also going all the way up to top shelf priority. Out of all of the series by Sarah, Throne of Glass is 100% my favorite. I've reread the first book like 4 times. It's just such a good time. Kaikei, I hope I said that right. This is going into, I think, casual curiosity. Genuinely, I feel like if it's a historical fiction, it's probably going to casual curiosity for me. Oh, The Science of Murder. I'll get to it, I swear. It's not necessarily a maybe someday because I'm very interested in it, but it's not necessarily a casual curiosity, I don't think. Oh, Crescent City. I do have the first 2 books. I don't have the third one yet because I have them in the paperbacks and I would love to keep them the same. So it's actually going to go up to, it's not a want, it's a want but not a need. It's not top shelf priority for me. The Kingdom of Back. This is also a Mary Lou book actually, but it's going into casual curiosity. I think it's about Beethoven or Mozart's little sister or something, and she has a magic within music, so that's very, very fun. Half-Blood. This is by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I think I would probably normally put it in casual curiosity, but because I have the entire series, because they have special edges, they're going into it's a want but not a need, and that is representing all 5 books. Adelaide. Maybe someday. I think I was a lot more interested in it when I first got it, which was honestly like a couple of years ago. The Nanny. I was a lot more interested in this before I read the back of it. My grandma actually picked this out as like a random book to get from Walmart one time. So it's going into maybe someday. I'm just not the most interested. The Wishing Game. This is another book of the month book, but it's one that I'm actually a lot more interested in. So it's not even going into casual curiosity. I think I'm actually going to put it into it's a want but not a need. It's a very fun concept where the main character is a teacher and her favorite author is coming out with their final book ever, and they're doing a game for people to get it and stuff, and it's so interesting. The Spectacular. I swear I'll get to it. I have no idea what this is about. It was another book of the month book. And then Romantic Comedy is also a book of the month book. And I think I'm actually going to put this one into casual curiosity. It's obviously a romance, so typically I probably would have put it into maybe someday. But there is another factor going on with them being on a reality show. Wolf Song. I think maybe someday. Love Theoretically. I think, yeah, so you can see that there's a couple more Allie Hazelwood books, so they're all going to go into the same tier actually, and I'm going to put them into I Swear I'll Get to It, and I'm going to go ahead and just move all the ones that I can see right now, and they're going into I Swear I'll Get to It because I have been meaning to make a video of reading every Allie Hazelwood book, but that video seemed a lot more feasible a little while ago when she didn't have as many books out. So if you're still interested, if you are interested in somebody reading every Allie Hazelwood book literally ever for like the first time ever, let me know and I'll do it. And as we go and we start filling up this tier, and it's in the second row now, I do want to say that a little rule I have made for myself is that once a tier gets filled up for a full 2 rows, I will clear out the images so that there's more space, because I have too many books to be able to do that and still have space on the screen. Ana Maria and the Fox is going into maybe, no, you know what? Casual Curiosity I think is fun. It's a historical romance, so it's just a little bit more. And then The Last Word I think is also going to go into casual curiosity. I'm debating it's a want but not a need, but I feel like casual curiosity makes the most sense for me. It's about a person who leaves a bad review or not the best review on an author's book, and then either they start feeling paranoid about certain things, thinking that the author is coming after them, or the author actually is coming after them. I don't remember which one it specifically is. Filthy Rich Bae. I'm gonna put it into maybe someday. I'm not the most interested in it, to be fair, to be honest. Oh, yay. Okay. The Blonde Identity by Ally Carter. Immediately, if you don't know, then Now you know, top shelf priority. My battery died, but my two favorite authors are Allie Carter and Marissa Meyer. So for me, their books are always gonna be at the top. The Resort, maybe someday. I don't even remember what it's about. The Host. If you don't know, this is by the same author who wrote the Twilight series, and there is a movie for The Host. So for that reason, I kind of want to put it higher, except that they've set it up to have a sequel and everything, and I think there was supposed to be a sequel, and then Stephanie just never wrote it. Yours truly, I think I'm going to put it into, I swear I'll get to it, Divine Rivals. It's a casual curiosity. Casual curiosity. If we ever meet again, I do have the first two of these as well, mostly for the edges, and I don't love the edges. It's going into maybe someday. I think this is actually Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. She also wrote The Kingdom of the Wicked, which I don't see yet, but it's here. So this is actually going to go into casual curiosity. Oh, Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is going into It's a Want, Not a Need. I'm interested, but not as interested as some other books. Darling Girls. Maybe someday. My Fault. Oh my goodness. So it's gonna go into I Swear I'll Get to It. I swear I'll get to it. But I just watched My Fault London yesterday. Listen, I love Colpa Mia. Love it. Have not seen Colpa Tuya. But I think I like the London one better. The Call of the Wild. I'm going to put it into maybe someday, because if it's anything like the movie, then it's going to hurt my feelings. Legends and Lattes. I think I Swear I'll Get to It. Everybody says that it's just a cozy fantasy, and I am not a cozy fantasy person, I don't think. I don't think I've really ever been exposed to cozy fantasies, so I'm not even sure. This is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, and I actually really like Chloe Gong. Her videos and stuff on TikTok are hilarious, so I'm gonna put it into casual curiosity. Ooh, The Book That Wouldn't Burn is actually also going into casual curiosity. The Fragile Threads of Power. I love the cover of this. It's gonna go way up top, not to the top, but to It's a Want but Not a Need. Lady Tan's Circle of Women, maybe someday. House of Glass, also maybe someday. The Unmaking of June Farrow. I swear I'll get to it. Wildfire. You know what? So this is representing all three books for Icebreaker that are at least out at the moment. I don't know if there's more. And I'm going to put it into casual curiosity. I did enjoy Icebreaker. I didn't absolutely love it. I think I gave it like a 3, maybe a 4. I don't do half or partial stars. But I do have all 3. So, Binding 13. Also going into casual curiosity, Clytemnestra. It's going into maybe someday purely for the title, and I'm so sorry. Always Mine, also maybe someday. Hera, I think is gonna go, I Swear I'll Get to It. I know I said something about historic, well, no, I've already put it there. I've already let go of the mouse. It's there. Lightlark. Casual curiosity, it's only going this high because I am very interested and I've seen a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of bad things, but like I never know how to filter through things like that. Assistant to the Villain is also going into casual curiosity. I also love her TikToks. Ink Blood Sister Scribe. Fun fact, I used this for a class once. For an economics class, actually. So it's going into casual curiosity. Ooh, and so is Powerless. And so is Silver in the Bone. Okay, the fine print, I swear I'll get to it. And then this next one might shock you because of all of the discourse I've been saying about romance, but this is In the Weeds. And it's going into It's a Want but Not a Need because of my seasonal reading vlogs that I would love to do, and this is the next one for the spring vlog. It's one of the ones that will be in it. The reappearance of Rachel Price. Casual Curiosity, To the Lighthouse, maybe someday. The most that I know about this is from the movie Nerve, which I really love. The Bone Season, I swear I'll get to it. A Fate Inked in Blood. Ooh, this is also going into I swear I'll get to it. I just saw Katie's reading when she read this, and she did not like it, and how she was describing it was just not the best. But I'm making it higher than maybe someday because there is a sequel. So perhaps things will improve. Starling House. Casual Curiosity. A Study in Drowning. I have no idea what this is about, but I do know that I love my edition because it's the one with the edges that have books. It's going into Casual Curiosity. Ariadne. I'll put it with Hera, and I swear I'll get to it actually. This is The Last Graduate. This is the second book for the Scholomance trilogy by Naomi Novik, and I loved the first one. I love the magic system and everything. It's going to top shelf priority. Peter Pan. You know what? I've been doing it a lot lower for the other videos that I filmed, but it's going to go into It's a Want but Not a Need for a couple of reasons. One of which is that this, I kind of really need to read it for a book that I'm writing, because I am featuring it. The Odyssey. Maybe someday. I just want to point out that I think it's really funny that we have the graveyard, and it's chillin'. I promise there are books that are going in there. It's not just there for funsies. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy is going into maybe someday. I think it's definitely going to be something I enjoy once I get to it, and I would love to read more nonfiction like memoirs. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I think I'm going to put it into Casual Curiosity. The Wedding Dress Sewing Circle, maybe someday. Mansfield Park. This is representing all of the Jane Austen books, which are all going into maybe someday. I've seen things, I've seen good things, bad things, and I just don't tend to like the language of classics, honestly. Lucy Folly. This is the Paris Apartment. Casual Curiosity, actually. These Hollow Vows. I swear I'll get to it. Alice Feeney, Daisy Darker. I think it's also going into I swear I'll get to it. And then Things We Do in the Dark is going into maybe someday. Grimm's Fairy Tales. I swear I'll get to them. This is one of the few anthologies, or the only anthology that I kept on here. Better Than the Movies. I also have Betting on You right there, but they are actually both going to go into Casual Curiosity, which means Casual Curiosity, it's time for its first clear out. So, like I said, I will be clearing out once they have 2 full rows, and I do have a specific picture in the mix to use as like a blocker so I can tell what I've done and what I haven't, because that's a problem. But I will put a graphic at the end that shows specifically every book that is in each of the tiers, and it will have all of the books that it's representing and everything so that you know. But like I said, Betting on You is also going into Casual Curiosity, and A Touch of Chaos is next, which is actually going to go way to the top, to top shelf priority. I love a lot of things with Greek mythology, which is probably funny given Hera, but it's a thing. Next is Lessons in Chemistry, which is actually going into Casual Curiosity. I'm very interested in reading it and watching its on-screen adaptation. I have not seen that one. I've been very good about not doing that. A Tale of Two Cities is going into maybe someday. A Tempest of Tea. I think I'm actually going to put that one up into It's a Want but Not a Need. Nettle and Bone is going into Casual Curiosity. I think it's so fun, just like A Tempest of Tea, and it's very different. The Inheritance of Orquídea. ¿Qué es este? Orquídea. Divina. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. Orquídea. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina is going into I Swear I'll Get to It, which means we have another clear out, but I'm going to wait because I know that a few of these aren't going there. So Cinder and Glass is going into Maybe Someday. Foul Lady Fortune, I think Anything by Chloe Gong is going into Casual Curiosity. And The Magnolia Palace is going into Maybe Someday. Once Upon a Broken Heart is going into It's a Want but Not a Need. I think I would put Caraval above. So because they're right here, I'm just going to go ahead and do them. But the reason I actually did this is because Legendary is going into It's a Want but Not a Need. However, Finale is going into Top Shelf Priority because I have read Caraval and I love Scarlet and I don't like Donatella, and I know that Legendary is more focusing on Donatella and it does that thing when it's a different POV, so it makes the other character seem a lot worse. And I just don't want to do that with Scarlet. Spells for Lost Things. This is going into Casual Curiosity. I might have put it higher, but Jenna Evans Walsh's books are a little iffy for me. I liked 2 of the 3 Love and Gelato trilogy books, so. And then And I Darken is actually going to go into I Swear I'll Get to It, so we're gonna go ahead and clear them out. Next is Twin Crowns. I'm very interested in the whole premise of this, so it's going into Casual Curiosity. The Lies I Tell is going into Maybe Someday, so we get to clear out another row. And then we have a Game of Fate, which while I have a touch of chaos in Top Shelf Priority, a Game of Fate is actually going to go into It's a Want but Not a Need because it's Hades' perspective rather than Persephone, and I much prefer a female's perspective. My Roommate is a Vampire, which is going into Casual Curiosity because I would love to know how that works. Hotel Magnifique, I Swear I'll Get to It. Wayward, also I Swear I'll Get to It. Ooh, The Crown of Gilded Bones. You know what? Top Shelf Priority. Book of Night by Holly Black, Casual Curiosity. Picture Perfect Boyfriend, Maybe Someday. Daughter of the Moon Goddess, I Swear I'll Get to It. Also, Song of Silver Flame Like Night. What the heck is that name, first of all? Also going into I Swear I'll Get to It. And then The Secret Society of Irregular Witches, also going into I Swear I'll Get to It. The Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco is Casual Curiosity. You're Invited, Maybe Someday. The Final Gambit, Top Shelf Priority. I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes because her books read very similar to Allie Carter, so it's just so fun. Ooh, The Chosen Ones. You know what? Casual Curiosity, especially given that I'm currently working on a super secret project as an aspiring author, and that is relevant. The Stardust Thief, I Swear I'll Get to It. Lore, Maybe Someday. Woman of Light, also Maybe Someday. The Scarlet Veil, Casual Curiosity. The Swollen Kingdom, I'm very interested in this one, especially because it's the Hedda Mafi, so Top Shelf Priority. Truly Devious, I Swear I'll Get to It, I promise. My Own Words by Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's an icon, I Swear I'll Get to It. Ace of Shades, Casual Curiosity. Everless, I Swear I'll Get to It. This is one of those books that I've just had for entirely too long. Chasing Red, technically this one might not be relevant to keep on here, but I did because it's my prerogative. But the reason why is because I've actually read the book when it was in its Wattpad version. I've also read the webtoon, but I haven't fully read this, so I'm gonna put it into Maybe Someday because I've had it for a while and I just. The Court of Miracles, Casual Curiosity. We Hunt the Flame, I Swear I'll Get to It. Oh, Sunburn, also Maybe someday. The Imposters. It's not a want. Nope. It's a want, but not a need. Mortal Engines. Maybe someday. King's Cage. Top shelf priority. Dune. Maybe someday because it really scares me. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I swear I'll get to it. This is Stain by A.G. Howard. I tried reading this and I got bored quite quickly, but I love her other books. I love the Splintered series so much. So it's going into I swear I'll get to it because I really cared for it. Time Bomb. So, this is our first graveyard. This is about a bomb at a high school. I don't know why I was in the mood to read really sad books. But once upon a time I was like, yeah, I want to stab myself and twist the knife. A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I swear I'll get to it. I feel so bad that I haven't read this for so long because I was literally recommended to read it by a Barnes & Noble worker, which is probably karma. You know, the fact that I had a worker talking to me about this for like 10 solid minutes and I bought it and I still haven't read it so many years later is probably why they won't hire me. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell myself. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is going into top shelf priority. Defy the Night. I swear I'll get to it. Snow Like Ashes. Maybe someday. This actually has a funny story behind it. I got this in the Epic Reads edition, and then my sister got it in the regular edition, and she didn't even know. The Deal. This is so funny. I don't know why I have this cover on here. This isn't the cover that I have. It's going into maybe someday. Actually, no. I haven't released it. I haven't released the mouse, so it's going into I swear I'll get to it because I'm very interested, and I love that there's so many different branches for the universe, and I think that's really fun. What to Say Next. Maybe someday. Stalking Jack the Ripper. Casual Curiosity. Ooh, Winterborn. This is by Ellie Carter. This is the first one of the duology, which is Winterborn, Home for Vengeance and Valor. 3 Dark Crowns. Casual Curiosity. The Girls I've Been. Also Casual Curiosity. The Hazelwood. I swear I'll get to it. The House in the Cerulean Sea. Also, I swear I'll get to it. The Shadows Between Us is going to go up to It's a Want But Not a Need. I would normally put it into Casual Curiosity. However, I have this and I have both of the books of the duology and I have the special edition, like, edges. And my sister has been hounding me to read this for so long. The Pretenders. So, this is going into I swear I'll get to it. This is the last book of a duology, and I didn't love the first book, but I did read it in literally one sitting, and I love the idea. Bringing Down the Duke. Maybe someday. The Iron King. This is going into a place that you might not have expected, but it's going way, way, way up to top shelf priority, literally because I am currently reading this right now. Ooh, The Rest of the Story by Sarah Dessen is going into I swear I'll get to it. This is another author that's iffy for me. I have 2 books by her and I loved one and I did not love the other. The Bone Witch. Casual Curiosity. Crave is also going into Casual Curiosity. Don't hate me. I know there's a lot of discourse around it, but I'm very interested. Afterlove. Maybe someday. Storm and Fury. Casual Curiosity. Heartstopper. Maybe someday. Joe and Laurie. Maybe someday. Sky Hunter. I swear I'll get to it. This is only going as low as it is, while the other Mary Lou books went higher because I have no idea what this is about. I actually got it for free from my school. Nope, from my hospital. Ooh, Scythe is also going into I swear I'll get to it. Oh, but These Violent Delights. Where did I put the other Chloe Gong books? I think I'm going to put it into Casual Curiosity. A Psalm for the Wild Built is going into Maybe Someday, which is a risky business because we are running out of so much screen space. Cinderella is Dead. Also Maybe Someday. I was interested in this a few years ago, not so much now. Children of Blood and Bone, I swear I'll get to it. I have the hardcover, and I have half a mind to sell the hardcover so I can get the paperbacks with the special edges. Rules for Being a Girl, Maybe Someday. The Poet X, it's a want, but not a need, and it's a want, specifically actually just for a class. The Lost Apothecary, Casual Curiosity. A Wrinkle in Time, Maybe Someday. Iron Widow, I swear I'll get to it. Ooh, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is going into Maybe Someday because it kind of scares me. They both die at the end. The Graveyard. Hunted, I swear I'll get to it. Skyward is actually going into Casual Curiosity, even though Brandon Sanderson scares me. The Duke and I, representing all of the Bridgerton original 8 books, is I swear I'll get to it. The Bone Spindle, Maybe Someday, purely because I have started this before and I could not get into it. Reign of the Fallen, Casual Curiosity. I love the cover, I love the idea. An Ember in the Ashes, also Casual Curiosity. Allegiant. The Graveyard. The Graveyard. Yeah, I know what happens and I don't need to continue to know. The Wicked Will Rise. Ooh, it's a want, but not a need. I'm very interested in this series. It's a Wizard of Oz retelling, and it's so fun. My Dark Vanessa, Maybe Someday. It has a very mature plot, and I just don't know. The Cellar, The Graveyard. This wasn't a book that I chose for myself. This was a book that I got from my high school library. A Darker Shade of Magic, Casual Curiosity. I'm very interested in this. However, I only have the first book, and I love these covers so much more than the new ones. Ooh, Defy Me for the entire Shatter Me series is going right up to top shelf priority with this Woven Kingdom. Give the Dark My Love. I swear I'll get to it. Red, White, and Royal Blue is going with Heartstopper into Maybe Someday. Oh, Percy Jackson. This is the Titan's Curse, I believe. It's the 3rd one. And it's actually going into... It's a want, but not a need. Gilded by Marissa Meyer is going all the way up to the top. To top shelf priority, which means we are truly running out of space here. So now I don't even know what I'm picking up anymore. Warcross, Casual Curiosity. This is The Knife of Never Letting Go. I think I would have put it into a higher one. Either it's a want but not a need, or Casual Curiosity, because I am very intrigued by the concept of a civilization of men where their thoughts are actually presented outside of their heads. And there's a movie with Tom Holland, which is really good. However, there's a specific thing that happens that's bumping it all the way down to I swear I'll get to it, because I would love to get to it, especially because my grandma got me this. But that one thing is just gonna hurt. We Were Liars is going into Maybe Someday. Cursed is Maybe Someday. Flawless. This is the 2nd book of the Pretty Little Liars series, and it's actually going into the Graveyard. I know basically everything that happens. I was rewatching the show once, and I went onto the wiki fandom for the books and read the plots for all of them. The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I swear I'll get to it. Coraline, top shelf priority. I love that movie. That would definitely be a really fun read and repeat. Oh, this is the other Nicholas Sparks book. This is Safe Haven. And I believe I put the other one in Maybe Someday. Oh my gosh. The Witch Hunt! This is going into top shelf priority. There's a lot of lore behind this duology for me, so whenever I get to it, I'm very excited. The Hobbit. I swear I'll get to it. which means I'm going to go ahead and clear out the images already so that we can get some space back. I am number 4. It's a want but not a need. I love the movie. If you didn't know there's a movie, it's so good. Aragon, I think maybe someday. It's a book that I got from book club, not because I really wanted it, but because it was from book club. Beautiful Creatures is going right next to I Am number 4. They both have decently okay adaptations, actually. I mean, I might change my mind once I read the books for the first time. Bonecryer's Moon, I swear I'll get to it. Hush Hush, I swear I'll get to it. Hunger, you know what? It's a want, not a need. This is the second book to a 6-book series. And I really loved the first book the first time I read it, and then I tried to read it again, and I DNF'd because I, for some reason, had internalized that the main characters were all in high school, but they're in middle school, and I was not prepared for that. Burned. I think this is also going into It's a Want, Not a Need. This is the 5th or 6th book in a 12-book series called The House of Night, and it's actually really good. I really like it. I just could not continue to read 12 books of the same story in a row. Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban. This is going into It's a Want, Not a Need, not because I'm really into reading the books or anything, or really into J.K. Rowling, just because I am doing reading vlogs of reading them for the first time ever, because my brother-in-law got me them. This is A Clockwork Prince, I believe. And it's actually going into I Swear I'll Get to It, as well as City of, is this Ashes? Yes. The Maze Runner. I would love to put it into It's a Want but not a Need. I loved the movies, however, I've seen the movies, so I know what happens in the last book. Moxie. Maybe someday. Ooh, Mockingbird. Mockingjay. Mockingjay. Top shelf priority. Dance of Thieves. I swear I'll get to it. Blood Promise is going into top shelf priority. I love Vampire Academy. I watch it all the time. I know like all the words to the movie. I have not seen the show, but I have read like half of the series, and I do have them all now, so I can read the rest of it. For the Wolf. Casual Curiosity. Dracula. I swear I'll get to it. Ready Player One. Okay, Ready Player One is going up to It's a Want But Not a Need. It's another movie adaptation that I love, and if the movie is that good, I really, really hope that the book is too. Rapture. I'm gonna put it into I Swear I'll Get to It. I might have put it into Casual Curiosity because I have read, obviously, some of the series. This is the 3rd one, I think, but once I got to this one, I got bored and I DNF'd it. Ruin and Rising is also going into I Swear I'll Get to It for the same reason that I got to Ruin and Rising and DNF'd. Red Rising. Casual Curiosity. Ooh, The 5th Wave. Another adaptation with a movie. I miss the YA adaptations. It's going into I Swear I'll Get to It. The Rainbow Troops. Maybe someday. Because I see some things here that are going to go into a few of these other ones, I'm going to go ahead and just put them there. So Supernova is going into top shelf priority. It's a Marissa Meyer book. Six of Crows is going into Casual Curiosity, just one above Ruin and Rising because I'm a little bit more interested in this than that anymore. Chain of Gold is going into I Swear I'll Get to It, as well as Lady Midnight, and Tower of Dawn is going into It's a Want but not a Need, because it's definitely not on par with Kingdom of Ash. All the Light We Cannot See is also going into It's a Want but not a Need, which might seem a little bit off. It's a very interesting historical fiction. I think there's a movie or a show as well. I tried to start it once when I was a lot younger and I did not have the mental maturity for it, but I feel like I probably could now, and I did like it when I started it back then, so I would assume that I'd like it now. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda is also going into Maybe Someday. Maybe Someday and Casual Curiosity are now filled. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the rows. Oh my gosh, and we're almost done actually. That's so fun. This is the last book. This was my filler. H2O is going into Maybe Someday. I was very intrigued by it when I first saw it. The premise is that there is acid rain, which is why there are these marks on the cover, and those are actual holes in the cover. Illuminae is going into the graveyard. And then this is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which I think is going into I Swear I'll Get to It. Like I said, Brandon Sanderson and the whole universe of his books kind of scare me. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Casual Curiosity. Lore Olympus, Maybe Someday. This is another one that I've read on Webtoon, so I've read everything. The Bone Houses, I Swear I'll Get to It. Winter Song, I Swear I'll Get to It. Will Grayson. This is another book that I got from book club. Maybe Someday. A Whole New World. Casual Curiosity. This is representing the entire Twisted Tales. I did try and read this one and I kind of got bored. But as someone who loves Disney movies as much as I do, I would love to get back to it. My Life with the Walter Boys. This is going into It's a Want, but not a need. I've seen the first season of the show so many times, and I'm so excited for the second season to come out. Girl Interrupted. It's going into the graveyard right now. That could definitely change, though. The Rise of the School for Good and Evil. I think... Oh my gosh, I don't know. I could... Okay. I'm going to put it into top shelf priority. I love the School for Good and Evil series. It's so good. And I've been thinking about rereading it, especially because Netflix honestly did a decent job with the adaptation, and I wish there was a sequel, and I keep watching the movie, and I just want to experience the sequel again, so I've been thinking about reading it again. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is actually going to go into It's a Want but Not a Need. Little Woman is going into the graveyard. No. Well. The graveyard. Okay. I'll put it into Maybe Someday. I have tried to read this and I made it like 75% through. But if I remember correctly, it's something called an epistemology, which goes through the entire life of a character, and I was just getting very bored, which tends to happen with classics for me because of the language and how very strung out things can become. So it's going into Maybe Someday, mostly because of Joe and Lori. Spiral. Ooh, this is Spiral by Balkara. I literally just got it. It's like right on my desk. It's going into Casual Curiosity. I read Collide a while ago and I really liked it. So when this came out, I was very excited. And last but not least, Wuthering Heights is going into the graveyard. This is another book just like Little Woman. That was a classic that I started. I made it like 15% through this one. And then I just read the entire plot on Wikipedia. That being said, that is the end. I finally finished this video. Please be proud of me. This is the end of the tier list. I will make those graphics so that you know everything that is in each of the tiers, because obviously this is not it. But I finally got it to work. We have gotten there. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you are interested in seeing me read any of these books, possibly subscribe. If you have any thoughts on where I have put these books, or if there are any books specifically that you would like me to read soon-ish, let me know in the comments. Just any of the things. I would love to hear from you. And with that being said, that is the end of the video. Next, of course, is the graphics and then the end cards. But this is the end for me. So, te aprecio mucho y mi corazón es tuyo para siempre. Adiós.